Maddie with Shedding Shepherd Studios. If you're new to my channel, that's really cool. So am I. This is my first YouTube video. So exciting. I thought I'd start with my first video being an introduction of myself, what I do in the hobby, and just a quick tour of my horse room. So starting with my studio name, Shedding Shepherd Studio, I have 2 German Shepherds and no shortage of dog hair in my house. It's everywhere. I don't know how to get rid of it. I love my dogs, so it's okay. But I wanted to commemorate them. I don't have a real horse at the moment, so my dogs carry the torch and they're the name of my studio. My dogs are Ranger and Riley. As I said, they're both German Shepherds and they both have so much hair. So Shedding Shepherd Studio. I'm also a big fan of alliteration, so it worked out great. My involvement in the hobby, I've been in the hobby for 25 years, I think, 25 years. I got my first model for my 5th birthday, I believe, Zippo Pine Bar, from my aunt and my cousin, and it's just been horses ever since. I've collected them steady since then. In 2010, 2011, I started very amateurly customizing. In fact, I still consider myself to be an amateur professional artist, meaning that I mostly paint for myself and my own enjoyment, but I do have a pretty nice client commission list. I do sales pieces to sell, and there are models that I painted in many people's show strings, so technically in that regard, I am professional, but I mostly paint for my own enjoyment. I also mostly collect OF Breyers, particularly the harder to find models, but I do have a small army of stones forming. I really like Peter Stones now. As far as my YouTube channel, I'm not really sure where to take it. I'm thinking a lot of painting tutorials, just my thoughts on model horses, unboxing videos, just tutorials in general, repair videos because I do dabble in small repairs. But I'm totally open to suggestions. As I said, I haven't been part of the YouTube community in almost 20 years, so we'll just have to see. But hopefully my video qualities improve from here. Hopefully you guys keep watching, and yeah, thank you so much for sticking it out so far. Stay tuned for the horse room tour. First up is the medallion and trinket shelf. This is where I keep all of my medallions and some of the mini winnies that I decide to keep on display, as well as some of the other fun stuff that just doesn't really fit anywhere else. My dad built this shelf for me. It is behind the door, so when the door is completely open, you don't see it. But it's very convenient and it holds a lot of medallions, and I'm a huge fan of it. Next is the stablemate shelf. As you can see, it's pretty full. I actually did start building shelves to add. I just need to get the little brackets. There's a mix of customs and OF on here, and my 62 G2 Warmbloods, only missing that unpainted black one, so if you have a lead on one, let me know. Next we have this shelf that I got from Lowe's. My husband and I assembled this. Up here we have some of the unpainted resins. On this shelf we have the painted mini resins, plus some foreign currency because my parents do live abroad, and some shark's teeth because I live in Florida. All of my little micros in here, a couple of venti resins that I painted, as well as some stablemates. Down here we have all of my stone minis, a couple pebbles, and then these 2, WIA and a Collecta. I actually recently got into the Peter Stones. I was not really a Peter Stone collector before 2025, but I will say I'm very impressed with the way that it is run, and the new ownership has made a big difference. Down here, we just have all of the long models. This shelf is very deep. It's probably about 13 inches deep. So all of our long models just kind of live on this shelf because they can be displayed pretty straight on. This shelf's in the corner of the room. It just houses some new in-box stuff, as well as this lamp I got at a tack shop. We have the plushies. I don't really collect the Breyer plushies, but some of them have been really cute, and some of them I've gotten in grab bags, so they stay. We have our German Shepherds, and a couple of the porcelain horses that I have decided to keep, as well as packaging materials and office stuff. My studio mascot down here, Sandy. Sandy the Sandy Cash German Shepherd. This is one of my 2 Billy bookcases. At the top here we have my 2024 diorama contest entry, a commemoration to the iPod in the original commercials. This shelf is not quite as deep, so it's mostly ponies and classic models. And a couple of vintage models, really just the models that are not super long. As you can see, we have some classics down here. These are great bookcases. If you are on the market for a bookcase for your models, Billy bookcase. Easy to assemble. They're very chic, very classy, and I believe they come in black and white, so you have options. Here's the other Billy bookcase. As you can see, they just both surround the window. The second one currently is all of my sales models. I kind of slacked this year on listing things as I found them. I've just sort of been saving them. We have a bag of bodies down there that needs to be sifted through and sorted for sale. But for now, this is the sale shelf. If anything catches your eye, let me know. Now we have the big built-in shelf. This is probably the coolest thing in my entire house. One of the first projects that we did in this house when we moved in a couple of years ago, I told my husband, like, we can get a new AC unit, we can get a fence, a new roof, whatever you want, but first we have to build the shelf. And he was game. He helped my dad build it. It took them about a weekend. I did the painting. This came before a new AC unit. Our AC unit was very dodgy, and of course, halfway through building the shelves and painting, the AC died for good and was never revived. So we built the shelves and then got a new AC unit. But this was technically the first project that we did in the house. This shelf is pretty deep, probably a good 12 inches deep, and you can fit some of the long models on it. It's floor to ceiling. The entire thing is floor to ceiling. It's always been my dream as a kid to have an entire wall of Breyers. And I am so happy to say that finally, I think I was 24, I was able to make that dream come true. And it's the highlight of our whole house. This is the thing that people come to see whether they intend to or not. I make them come in and see the shelves because I'm just so proud of it. It's a nice shelf. It's great craftsmanship, and it's honestly a memory that I'll never forget with my dad, my husband, my brothers, and the hot, sweaty lack of air conditioning that weekend. Here's where the magic happens. This is where I do all of my painting and any work on models. I've got a nice little drawer of paintbrushes, organized by what I use them for, my pastel brushes, my kind of big, coarse brushes, and all of my detail brushes. My workspace is covered in paper, so that way I don't ruin the desk. This is an Amazon desk. I think it folds up, which is super nice. I have my planner. I write down everything that I've been working on just to keep myself motivated, and it's nice to look back on. Down here, I have my trash box and my airbrush compressor, as well as some other stuff. We've got pan pastels, prepping supplies, oil paints, mica powders that I don't really use. We've got some painting stuff in here, colored pencils, my formula cards, cotton swabs. Down here we have all the sculpting stuff. I don't really sculpt that often, but I do own a lot of sculpting stuff, and the Dremels. There's 2 Dremels in here. My dad actually came up with the idea for me to work out of the closet. And I have to say, it's nice. It keeps everything contained. We installed an LED strip. As you can see, it's very bright. I have a nice bright ring light. And this room gets a lot of great afternoon sun. So the lighting in here for painting is actually very nice. And this is what sold me on buying this house. These shelves were already built in. It's literally cut into the wall. As soon as I saw this house, all those years ago. I said, yep, this is where the horse room is. This is where we're going to live. And yeah, I didn't even have to fight my husband for it. His room is on the other side of the hallway. But up here I have all of my binders and my test model. This poor horse, she is the test subject for every paint, every primer, every sealer, everything. As you can see, she looks thrilled about it. But up here, I have all of my show binders. They're pretty organized by type of model. The awards, the breed references, COAs, it's all in there. This is the Pony Quarantine Center. All of my in-progress models live behind this plastic sheet. It keeps them clean. It keeps them from getting dog hair or dust on them. Right now it's summer, so progress is kind of slow, but we have quite a few works in progress. Here's where I keep some of my acrylic paints. They're just in bins. It's nothing fancy. I've got all of my fun colors over here and all of my horse colors here. And down here we have primer on the left, bins with micros, medallions, just other small projects, and all of my sealers over here. I am a sealer hoarder. Every time I go to the Hobby Lobby or the Michaels or wherever, I just pick one up. I have a problem. And here's a walkthrough of the whole room. If you come in, you can see that the door's shut, so you can see the medallions. I need to get some artwork for in here. I just don't know what to put in here.